Today on the Morning Edition, a new proposal is up for comment and debate, a barrier to help prevent pedestrians from crossing Fifth Avenue in one of the most dangerous stretches of road. We'll break down what's being said about it. Plus, ShakeAlert. It's a U.S. system used in several states that are known to be earthquake prone to help give residents early warning and notice that an earthquake is moments away. But it's not here in Alaska yet. It's on its way, though, and experts are excited. We'll share what they're saying. And later, this military mule saw active service in Afghanistan and is now enjoying a far safer and more relaxed role in life. As those around Jem discover her story, they're now intent on honoring what she's done for veterans. We'll share what they have planned as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Thursday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. Still feeling those warmer temperatures. It's really starting to feel more like spring, Aaron.
Yeah, those mornings still a bit on the chillier side, but if you give yourself a couple of hours into the afternoon, that's where that big winter comes each day, where those temperatures continue to warm into the 20s. We've even seen some 30s across South Central. Now, we are waking up this morning, 13 degrees, winds out of the north-northwest at 7 miles per hour in Anchorage. So we do have a wind chill sitting near 3 degrees this morning. But overall, not a bad stretch of weather that we've been dealing with so far this week as those temperatures continue to slowly warm as we close out March. We're currently at 15 in Kenai, 13 in Anchorage, 10 degrees in Talkeetna. Now from Soldotna to Willow and Golconda, we're still seeing some of those sub-zero values. Notice Wasilla and Palmer sitting in the 20s this morning. Big reason why? Those winds have still been with us through the overnight hours, and that keeps temperatures pretty elevated as it prevents that colder air from settling in at the surface. So you can see currently winds are still gusting up to 36 miles per hour in Palmer. As you head just northwest of Wasilla, we're also seeing some of those gustier conditions. So those areas are holding on to temperatures a lot warmer than surrounding locations, but we're still going to continue to hold on to these temperatures across a good portion of South Central, steadily warming. As you get out on those roadways this morning, for that bus stop forecast across South Central, just be prepared that you will encounter some slick spots with this freeze-thaw pattern. We continue to remain up under Fairbanks. You'll see that temperature this morning for that bus stop, negative 15, 4 degrees in Bethel, and then for Juneau, that temperature topping out at 21 degrees. And we've got many areas across the state where we're still holding on to some clear skies. Southeast, though, still seeing a stretch of some cloudy conditions with southern parts of the Panhandle, still keeping some persistent snow showers around, which will likely linger into the weekend. Now, coming up on my full forecast, we'll be talking more about this slow warming trend. Southeast also dealing with some windy weather with the avalanche danger still with us. Clear and dry over most of the state. And of course, the interior, we're still dealing with this cold weather pattern despite the slow warming trend. The second longest stretch below freezing in the interior. I'll have those details for you later in the show in that 7-day forecast coming up.
The number of people hit and killed by cars continues to increase. The state wants to reduce the crashes, especially along the busiest stretch of road. Joe Allgood spoke with the state engineers and has the details.
This stretch of Fifth Avenue behind me is one of the most dangerous in the state for pedestrians. The Alaska Department of Transportation is hoping to change that with the help of the federal government.
We are proposing to put a median barrier on Fifth Avenue between Concrete and Carluck Street.
80 crashes, 3 fatalities, and 4 serious injuries in just 3 years prompted Alaska DOT to look into the problem, getting funding from the Federal Highway Administration and identifying a study from Maryland.
And that study found that median barriers were generally 86% effective at reducing mid-block pedestrian fatalities.
Approximately 75% of pedestrian fatalities happen in the middle of the block, DOT says, hoping this barrier forces people to use crosswalks.
Whether it's concrete or we have one steel option, but anything that we put on top of the barrier to deter pedestrians from crossing the barrier or jumping over it.
I like the terracotta with the river.
On Wednesday, members of the public gave feedback and voted on designs.
There is varied feedback that I've got so far.
And, you know, it's not going to be the end-all, be-all, but I thought that they really did a good job.
Some local businesses worry the barrier will cut off easy road access, frustrated that they weren't contacted sooner. But such a long stretch of road leads many to cross in order to reach businesses like the convenience store in the middle.
But on the other hand, on the north side, there's really no reason for anyone to be on the north side because that's where the correctional center is.
So DOT is still looking for the best middle-of-the-road solution.
Construction is expected to begin in 2027. In the meantime, you can vote on the designs on the Alaska DOT website. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Meantime, Thane Road in Juneau is back open this morning, and there's new video to share with you today of an avalanche that spilled over the mountain just short of the road Tuesday. This video was captured Tuesday afternoon by a DOT camera posted on Thane Road, which had been closed hours earlier. It was one of several avalanches in the area that day. The DOT reminds drivers to not stop or park within the designated avalanche area, and that they will be conducting avalanche hazard reduction above Thane Road in the coming days as conditions allow.
The avalanche hazards are still high, and we encourage folks to respect the barriers and do not enter the avalanche area whatsoever. Your safety and everyone's safety relies on you respecting those barriers and the closure. And really, what's driving the hazard is those very fast wind conditions that we're seeing at the ridge tops that is moving snowpacks around and causing that increased hazard.
After Typhoon Halong, a new poll shows that the majority of Kipnuk's tribal members want to move. But despite the decision, the process to move is going to take time and additional steps. Georgina Fernandez explains.
Out in Kipnuk, it's remnants of what was home for many.
This is the third disaster they had in a period of 37 months.
As tribal members now imagine what Kipnuk could look like after 92% of Kipnuk's adult tribal members voted to relocate after Typhoon Halong swept through the village.
In my mind, I think of our next generation, our grandkids, future grandkids, and our next generation.
Kipnuk's tribal president, Daniel Paul, telling us the village has been impacted by global warming and climate change.
It's gonna be a lot of change and adapting to a new site.
But moving is not as simple as a vote. The village would need to do a land exchange according to the Alaska Climate Justice Program due to the two proposed locations being outside of Kipnuk's Village Corporation boundaries.
And then there would also have to be a determination that those places are safe for relocation, looking at things like erosion, flood risk, permafrost thaw, but they are higher elevation.
And the cost to move is also at play. The state previously saying any FEMA funding from Halong was for storm relief efforts only.
They're intended to repair and replace damaged infrastructure, homes, personal property, subsistence gear and equipment from the storm.
And even if funding and land is secured,
it'll be money talks and money walks.
It will be years before a new village is ready. Georgina Fernandez, Alaska's news source.
And a quick reminder, you have just 7 more days to apply for your Alaska Permanent Fund dividend. The filing window closes March 31st by 11:59 p.m. If you haven't applied, log into your My Alaska account and fill out the application. If you don't want to e-sign, you can still file online and mail in a signature or pick up a paper application at distribution centers around the state. A system that already warns people in Washington, Oregon, and California that a major earthquake is about to happen is closer to being available in Alaska. The system, known as ShakeAlert, can provide several seconds to a minute or more of warning. This happening in Alaska hinges on federal funding approved earlier this year, although its operation is not expected for several years.
We are at the beginning. This has been many years in the works. It will take some years to deliver on, but it feels, high time to kind of join the ranks of other places. If you live in, people who live in, certain parts of the West Coast, this is already just something they expect in life. They are accustomed and have been for years to knowing about shaking before it starts. It's a little bit more of a new concept for us in Alaska, but we are at the Alaska Earthquake Center extremely excited to see us join those ranks.
The effort starts in the Anchorage, Fairbanks, Kodiak, and Prince William Sound regions. Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, Ted Stevens International Airport played host to the job fair on Wednesday, an event that saw quite the turnout. We took a tour and share the sights and sounds of the day next.
And we're dealing with one of the coldest Marches we've seen in quite some time here across South Central. I'll have more on that slow warming trend. But first at sunrise, coming in at 7:40, 7:54 in Kupiavik. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back and good Thursday. We are nearing the end of March and it's been an unusually chilly one, Aaron, but we are finally warming up.
Yeah, in fact, this March, currently, of course, we still got a couple of days left in the month, but the only March that we've seen on record where every day has brought below seasonal values was back in March of 2007. Now, we'll have to see what the rest of this month holds, but likely going to continue to see that stretch of below seasonal values, although temperatures continue to slowly warm. You can see that rise that we've seen taking place so far this week. Last week, we saw those temperatures 15 to 20 degrees below average. This week, we're seeing those temperatures about 5 to 10 degrees below average. So we are beginning to see that slow warming trend taking hold. But notice, it's the start of the year. Every single month so far this year has brought below seasonal values. 3.3 degrees below average for January, 2.7 below average for February, and then March came in at 13.1 degrees below average. And even though we are slowly warming, it is still a fairly cold March across South Central. In fact, Anchorage is coming in at 11.9 degrees. This is the third coldest March to date. Now, this is just for March 1st through March 25th. 1971 and 1959 are the only 2 years that was colder than what we're currently sitting at. And this is, you can see 2007, that 1 year that we did see with the March, seeing every day below seasonal values. So we still have that potential that we will close out this March, which is a fairly rare occurrence to see every single day for the month of March to remain below seasonal values. Current conditions showing 13 in Anchorage, 13 below in McGrath, 18 below in Fairbanks. Southeast seeing those temperatures anywhere from 1 in Yakutat to 32 degrees in Ketchikan, where we are going to see some increasing snow showers that will linger through the end of the week. In fact, there is a winter weather advisory that has been issued for southern parts of the Panhandle. Those temperatures today will warm into the 20s, possibly some 30s across South Central. Continuing to hold on to that stretch of sunshine, so get outdoors and enjoy it, soak it up. We're going to continue to maintain this dry weather pattern that we've been sitting up under, and we'll continue into the weekend and next week. So rising temperatures, we're going to slowly warm to close out March. Now, we are still seeing some cold conditions, these pinks, blues, and then these darker blues. Yes, that is colder weather, but notice as we head through the rest of this week, we begin to continue to see that slow warming. That's going to erode away those colder conditions. So we'll see temperatures each day about 2 to 3 degrees warmer, and there is a decent shot next week that we are officially going to climb above freezing. In fact, a 7-day for Fairbanks as well certainly looks to be very promising and a welcome trend considering how cold we have been. Now, as we close out March and welcome in April, we will still see parts of the interior, South Central, and Southeast on the cooler side. But with that said, we're only going to see temperatures about 5-ish or so degrees below seasonal values as you head from South Central into the interior. There's that warmer weather taking hold as you head across western and northwestern parts of the state. And that slow rising in temperatures, you can see our average high for March tends to come around 33 degrees. And we may not even see that until next week. You can see temperatures by Sunday topping out at 32, Monday 33 degrees, and then we officially see those temperatures in the mid to upper 30s looking possible as we welcome in next week.
Millions of visitors pour into Alaska each summer, and the businesses that serve them are already racing to build their teams. Danny Tompkins takes us inside the 2026 Anchorage Job Fair.
This hustle and bustle at Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport wasn't due to travel.
Welcome to the job fair.
35 Alaskan companies set up booths
the police and fire service for every place around here at the airport
to share what they're all about. Many Alaskans, like Sophie Hidalgo, try to find the right fit.
I am still straight out of high school. I just started in my college, so I've just been here looking around for jobs.
Sharon Welker, general manager of an airport business, says the stakes get higher with the melting of the snow.
Summertime is where we make our revenue in order to carry us through the winter.
With summer on the horizon, Welker has good news for those looking to work.
I think a person that's looking for a job right now in the Anchorage community could find something with all of us that are here today.
Some businesses are making it as easy as possible, like this company where you just scan the QR code and it takes you straight to their job application website.
One of our goals for this year was to make the application process paperless and as simple as possible.
Rebecca Berge, recruitment and training manager, tries something new this year.
There's some generational differences in the workforce right now, and one of our target demographics is the younger generation.
And that younger generation includes Sophia.
Thank you, guys.
Who sets her sights on the future.
I think that every job that I take will always be a great stepping stone for the future. It's something I could build on, and I think that having something in the airport or anything related to that will just be a great stepping stone of what I could be doing.
This hustle and bustle is what moves millions of visitors through Alaska each summer. But on this day, it helped move a few Alaskans close to their next opportunity.
Thank you, guys.
Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
There are several other job fairs coming up in the next few days across the state. Look for a link in this story on our website to see if there's one in your area.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.